not as strong. You're not an adult. You don't have that to, I don't care what you think attitude. It's all about what you look like and your presence, and but I just cried and cried because I was so happy that God was using me to be able to show somebody you can do it. You can do it. But over the next year and a half, I had infections in my left foot. It kept being infected over and over again. I had surgery after surgery, and we said, okay, look, doctor, we need a second opinion. Can you give us somebody else? And he gave us a list of 3 doctors, and he said, well, this third doctor, he specializes in shattered bones and infections that won't go away. And so my first thought was, well, why the hell didn't you send me to him 9 months ago? Instead of playing with my life, this was my life that you just took 9 months of. Why didn't you send me to him a long time ago so I could move on with my life, instead of using me as like a guinea pig for you to see if you could do this, if you could fix my foot? No, that's not right. So I went to this new doctor, and it was just another appointment. My mom and Todd said, you want us to go with you? And I said, no, I got it. I can drive to Houston with my eyes closed at this point. So first thing he says was, have you ever thought of amputation? And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to act. I just started crying. And I said, no, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to give it up. I'm not ready to give up this fight. I just want my foot fixed so I can move on. And he said, okay, that's fine. We'll do it. I said, okay. So for the next 6 months, I had probably at least 1 surgery every month, where he would go in and try to clean out the infection, put antibiotic beads in there, then a couple of days later take the antibiotic beads out, and then put a drain pump in there, and I would come home with a drain pump and IV antibiotics. A nurse had to come to my house. I had a PICC line in my arm where the nurse would come and do my IV antibiotics. So after the 6-month period, he said, okay, we have 2 choices. We can take a bone out of your shin and put it in your heel to replace your heel bone completely, and you'll have to wear a big metal fixator on your leg again for a year, maybe even 2 years. So it will grow that bone. And he said, but at the end of that year or 2, if it doesn't work, then you'll have to have it amputated anyways. He said, or you can do an amputation now and be up and walking in 6 weeks. And at this point, I just wanted my life back. I was ready to take over. I was tired of having surgery. I was tired of walking with a walker. I wanted to be able to play with my son on the floor. I wanted to dance with my fiance. I wanted to dance with Todd. I was just tired of having to rely on everybody. That was really hard, to keep relying on everybody to help me. That was a lot to swallow. And I said, let's do it. I said, I'm ready. I want my life back. And he said, okay. And so we, the night before I had my amputation surgery, Todd and Kyler and my mom and my little sister, we all went to the aquarium in Houston and did the outside rides and the games and just hung out. And then we went back and stayed the night in a hotel. And it just happened to be Shark Week when we went. So we were all kind of laughing and making jokes about, oh man, what a week to have your foot amputated. Now you can tell people you got it bit off by a shark. And, so that continues to be kind of a joke sometimes when people ask me, God, what happened to your leg? Because, children are genuinely curious. So I tell them that I got into an accident. But when an adult says, man, what happened to your leg? That's kind of rude. Didn't your mama teach you any home training? Like, come on now, you don't do that. But I'll say, oh, I got bit by a shark. It's crazy. I almost lost both my legs. Look at this big scar on my leg too. Or an alligator bit me or something. And they're like, oh man, really? And they want to know details. And so I just play along with the story because if you're going to be rude, you get to be, if you're going to be stupid about it, you're going to get a stupid answer. But I was up and walking in 4 weeks. I had the drive to want to be better, to want to get well. I have this fight in me that it's never going to go away. In Beaumont, they didn't know if I was going to live. The first 72 hours, they didn't know if I was going to live. And then it was that I would never walk. And then it was that I would never run. And, but I got news for them. I'm alive, and I can walk, and I can work out. And here recently, I got a new prosthetic leg that is for running and walking. It has the curve on it that puts a little bounce in my steps so I can run faster. It's been a miracle, and it's been a fight. Nothing has come easy, but I continue to fight every day because it's my life. I want to take care of my husband and my kids, and it's been awesome. Yes, I said my husband now. 7 years ago, after I had my amputation, we got married. He knew how important it was for me to be able to walk down the aisle. So we continued to push back our wedding date until he knew that I could walk down the aisle. And whenever I saw his face coming down the aisle, he was so happy. He was so overjoyed and so proud of me that I was walking down the aisle. He just had the biggest smile on his face with tears coming down because he knew the fight that we had all been fighting. It wasn't just a fight that I had been fighting. It was my whole family. Everybody had been there with me every step of the way. It's never been just me. I will show y'all. Sorry. I'll show y'all my prosthesis. Always have painted toes. Always got to match toes. And this is my scar on my leg where my femur was popping out. That's just a couple of things, and I'll be checking back in weekly or more than that to share different stories that have happened along the way and